K-drama Haven family. In the world of Korean dramas, chemistry is everything. It can make or break a story. It can turn a simple script into a cultural phenomenon, and it can transform two stars into legends. But every once in a while, there comes a pairing so magnetic, so electric, that the audience begins to wonder, is this still acting, or is this something real? And nowhere is that question louder, stronger, and more undeniable than in the story of Jun Ho and Yoona. When King the Land first aired, it was expected to be a success. After all, it had two household names, Yoona, the girl group superstar who conquered both music and drama, and Jun Ho, the idol-turned-actor whose charisma seemed limitless. Fans anticipated charm, romance, and the classic glow of a K-drama fairy tale. Hold on tight, K-drama Haven family, because this journey is only just beginning. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The revelations, the emotions, the moments that will change everything. But what they got was more than a story. They got chemistry so powerful that it leapt off the screen and settled into their hearts. Chemistry that made fans ask themselves, episode after episode, could this be real? It began innocently. A shared glance in an office scene. A playful smirk exchanged over coffee. A pause, a silence, so filled with meaning that the audience could feel it in their bones. Yoona's laughter didn't feel rehearsed. Jun Ho's smile didn't feel like acting. These were not characters, fans argued. These were two souls letting their guard down. Clips of their moments flooded social media. Fans slowed the footage, frame by frame, pointing to the tiny details. The way Jun Ho's eyes lingered just a beat too long. The way Yoona's shoulders relaxed in his presence. One fan wrote, "You can't fake comfort. You can't fake warmth. What we see between them is not just performance. It's instinct." And then came the umbrella scene. It should have been routine, the classic trope of two leads caught in the rain. But under that small canopy, with the sound of raindrops falling all around them, something shifted. Jun Ho's hand tilted the umbrella just enough to shield Yoona, exposing himself to the rain. His shoulders leaned toward her, protective, natural, unthinking. And when Yoona looked up, her expression wasn't polished. It wasn't crafted. It was raw. The audience felt it. That moment wasn't a cliché. It was a revelation. Behind the cameras, the whispers only grew louder. On set, staff members reported the ease between them. Between takes, they laughed together, teased each other, shared quiet conversations. They weren't simply two stars performing a romance. They were friends, partners, companions in a way that blurred the lines between fiction and reality. One crew member confessed, "There were times when we forgot the cameras were rolling. It didn't feel like a drama anymore. It felt like we were intruding on something private." Fans seized on every behind-the-scenes clip, every interview snippet, every candid shot. And the evidence, they argued, was overwhelming. Then came the press tour. At events, they couldn't seem to help themselves. Their eyes searched for each other. Their laughter spilled over in unplanned bursts, and even their body language betrayed a closeness that was impossible to ignore. In one memorable interview, Yoona was asked what it was like working with Jun Ho. She smiled, glanced at him, and said, "With him, I don't feel like I'm acting. I feel like I'm living." The room laughed, but fans didn't. They froze. They replayed it. They dissected every syllable. And Jun Ho? He didn't laugh either. He just smiled, wide and unguarded, a smile that seemed to say, "She's right." But perhaps the most compelling evidence came not from their words, but from their silence. Because while the rumors spread, while headlines speculated, while fans demanded answers, both Yoona and Jun Ho remained quiet. No denials. No clarifications. No distancing statements. Just silence. And in that silence, the world heard a truth louder than any confirmation. Because sometimes, the absence of denial speaks volumes. K-drama Haven family, This isn't just about two actors playing a part. It's about the possibility that in the midst of long shooting days, endless scripts, and flashing lights, something genuine bloomed. That somewhere between action and cut, their hearts spoke a language no one could script. Body language experts weighed in, pointing out their subconscious movements, how Jun Ho always angled his body toward Yoona, how her hand seemed to reach for him without thought. Actors can fake many things, one expert explained, but they can't fake instinct. Their instinct is to be close to each other. And so, fans continue to believe. They create fan edits that stitch together their moments, edits that rack up millions of views. They trend hashtags declaring Jun Ho and Yoona the new king and queen of K-drama romance. They flood comment sections with pleas, with prayers, with hope that one day, the two will reveal what they already suspect. Because undeniable proof isn't always a confession. It isn't always a headline. Sometimes, undeniable proof is the way two people look at each other when they think the world isn't watching. Sometimes, it's the laughter that feels too real, the tears that fall too easily, the comfort that cannot be staged. And when it comes to Lee Jun Ho and Yoona, the world has seen all of these. It began during filming. Crew members noticed that when the director shouted cut, most actors would step out of character immediately. But not Jun Ho and Yoona. Even after a scene ended, their gazes lingered. Their conversations carried on. Their laughter continued, long after the cameras had turned away. It was like they didn't have an on and off switch, one staff member recalled. They just stayed in that world together. And those lingering moments became the spark of 1,000 theories. Behind-the-scenes clips only fueled the frenzy. In one video, Yoona playfully swatted Jun Ho's arm after he teased her. Her smile wasn't the carefully composed one of a performer, but the natural, unguarded grin of someone who felt safe. Jun Ho's reaction was just as telling. He laughed, not in a staged way, but in a way that shook his shoulders, as if she was the only person in the room who could make him laugh like that. Fans slowed the footage down, frame by frame. They pointed to the way his eyes followed her even when she wasn't speaking. They highlighted the way she leaned toward him instinctively, as though pulled by gravity. And they asked the question that no one could answer. Was this acting, or was this real? Then there were the late-night stories. Filming a drama is exhausting, long hours, endless rehearsals, sleepless nights. But cast members whispered that Jun Ho often went out of his way to check on Yoona. If she was tired, he made her laugh. If she skipped a meal, he quietly brought food to her. One insider revealed. Yoona would thank him every time, but it wasn't formal. It was soft, familiar, like this was normal between them. And those small gestures, unnoticed by the world, but unforgettable to those who saw, painted a picture far stronger than any script could. The press tour revealed even more. At one fan event, a journalist asked Jun Ho about his ideal type. He gave a practiced smile and said, "Someone who can make me smile when I'm tired. Someone who shines, even without trying." Fans gasped. Because sitting just inches away, Yoona lowered her gaze and laughed, as though she knew exactly what he meant. Later, during the same tour, Yoona was asked what she admired most about Jun Ho. She didn't hesitate. He has this way of making people feel cared for. Even when he doesn't say much, he notices things. The room erupted. Fans screamed. And Jun Ho? He looked at her, silent, smiling, with an expression that said more than words ever could. But the strongest evidence of all lies in what fans have called the unguarded moments. Airport sightings. After-party glimpses. Those fleeting, unscripted seconds when stars think the cameras aren't watching. In one viral clip, Jun Ho gently placed his hand on the small of Yoona's back as they walked through a crowded hallway. It wasn't a dramatic gesture. It wasn't for the cameras. It was instinct, protective, subtle, tender. And Yoona, without hesitation, leaned slightly closer. Fans froze the frame, replayed it endlessly, and declared it the truest proof yet. So what really happened when the cameras stopped rolling? Maybe the answer isn't a confession or a headline. Maybe it's in the stolen glances, the shared laughter, the subtle touches that no script could ever demand. Maybe it's in the way they made each other feel, not as characters, but as people. Because undeniable chemistry doesn't end when the director calls cut. It lingers. It lives. It breathes even when the world isn't supposed to see. And with Jun Ho and Yoona, fans believe that is exactly what happened. K-drama Haven family, what we saw on screen was beautiful, but what we glimpsed off screen, that may be the real story. This is K-drama Haven.